Hi, my name is Matt Miskel, and this is my website on cystic fibrosis. This is the homepage, and I chose this very first image because I think it gives a great illustration of kind of the macro view, the results of somebody that may have cystic fibrosis. I also think if an audience member were to know something about cystic fibrosis, they most likely would associate it with the airway. And so this is me trying to draw a bridge between maybe information that they already know toward information that they don't know yet. I also have I wanted to introduce this idea that many mutations can lead to the same symptom. Um, and so you can see for 6 different areas of the world, there are many mutations that lead to cystic fibrosis, and you can see how, how prevalent a certain mutation like the F508 delta is in different areas of the world. For signs and symptoms, um, I added another image that shows the difference between the normal and the cystic fibrosis airway, but cystic fibrosis is systemic. And so I wanted the audience to see many different images of how cystic fibrosis affects the body in different ways. Tissues involved. Um, I'll talk about the first two images on this page. This first one is the first of many images that shows protein synthesis of CFTR gene. And I think it's a great image comparing normal versus how it could be affected, mutated along the way. I think there's a lot of power in showing the same content different ways so that audience members can latch on any information that they're bringing in to this new knowledge and create a framework in their mind. And then this second image, this might have been the most interesting article I read. The researchers were essentially trying to connect CFTR protein to see what impact it has on epithelial cell differentiation. And you can, with their image, you can clearly see how in CF epithelium there's delayed and impaired traffic versus normal. Genes and signaling pathways. So if an audience member didn't catch the prevalence of the different mutations that could lead to CF, they can catch it here. If they didn't, if they didn't latch on to that protein synthesis image from the previous page, maybe these symbols, the double helix symbol, or a little bit more simplified version of what's going on, maybe they could latch on to that a bit better. And here it is again in a different way, emphasizing the chloride flow to help them understand that water is not going to flow into an area that doesn't have these ions. And so you're going to have the thick mucus versus the thin. And if they wanted a deeper dive, went ahead and added the signaling pathways here. So along the same lines of trying to get like information delivered in different ways, I found I enjoyed that these videos were short and that they essentially put the images that the audience has seen in the previous pages into motion. As if this is an application page, because I think that's what treatment is. It's an answer to a problem. You take all the information and you say, okay, what do we do with this? And that's what videos do for knowledge. And for current research, here is a figure from the research article that I read, the animal model uh, comparing epithelial tissue in pigs for wild type versus positive for CFTR mutation. If I could change anything, I would have tried to find an article that showed a significant difference. I think there's a lot of value in seeing the results for this one, that there is no significant difference, but I think it might have been more intriguing for the audience to see. And then lastly, kind of under the same mission of trying to draw the audience into new knowledge, how does cystic fibrosis affect not just your airway? And so I thought the research on how it's related to diabetes um, was valuable. Thank you.